what will this place look like 10, 15, 20 years from now? But there's something for everybody. If you seek it out, there's those opportunities and places are available for you depending on what phase in life you're in. What can I do to make things better today? How can I help other people be successful too?
Dreyfus, Executive Director of Downtown Greenville Partnership. Thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Great to see you, Tyler.
Good to see you too. First off, I know you have a lot of roots here in Greenville, Pirate Nation, 30 years. Why have you stayed for 30 years?
I don't know. That's a great question. Back when I graduated East Carolina, there wasn't as many opportunities as there are now for folks that graduate ECU. But there was something about Greenville I really loved. And I grew up in Raleigh. And at the time, I liked the smaller feel of Greenville versus, the bigger city of Raleigh, and had opportunities to go back to Raleigh and work and start a career there. But something just kept me in Greenville. And I loved East Carolina. I loved Greenville. I loved the East. And I just kind of felt like I made a new home here and I didn't want to leave it. So I don't know if it was any one thing, but I just really loved the vibe and the environment here. And I'm glad I did stay.
And you've been in media, several different ventures. Now you've really transitioned and got your feet wet in this new role with the Downtown Greenville Partnership. What has that been like, and how's that transition been?
Yeah, I've had a lot of chapters while I've been here in Greenville, and I've been blessed to meet a lot of great people and develop a lot of great relationships. And this was the newest chapter for me as executive director for the Downtown Greenville Partnership, and it's been fantastic. It's exceeded my expectations. I've really enjoyed all the different groups that we get to work with and individuals, from the city to the university to the county to all of our merchants and then the general public. It's been a fantastic transition and really an easy transition because most of the people I've been dealing with in this role, I've dealt in other roles. So the learning curve was very smooth, let's say. So it's been a lot of fun though.
And for the folks who aren't familiar with the Downtown Greenville Partnership, tell me a little bit about what do you all do and what your mission is for the city?
That's a good question, and we get that quite often. We have a few key missions that we want to do. One, we want to try and beautify downtown Greenville. What can we do as a group to help make Greenville and downtown beautiful? Whether we assist the city, it could be as simple as pressure washing or helping put new flowers in the beds, to many projects that are much bigger than that. And signage and different things like that. Then we hold events. That's probably what we're best known for. I'm sure you've probably heard of PirateFest, and it's the area's largest event. It'll be coming up April 5th this year. We're excited about that on First Street in Town Common. We do Free Boot Friday, Dickens After Dark, and many other events that we partner with our friends at the city. And the third is we try and activate the area by promotion and marketing and advertising and letting people know what's going on with our vendors, with the events, with the city. And then really a fourth that I'm working on, big picture with the city leadership, is, future transformational development. What will this place look like 10, 15, 20 years from now? Because those plans are being talked about and worked on now. So what can we do to improve the First Street corridor, and what opportunities will there be? And what can we do to improve the Town Common and make that even more an inviting park? So there's a lot of big picture things going on, many in the planning stages right now, some a little bit further along, that I enjoy helping to play a role with too, wherever we can.
What is your vision of Greenville in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Right now, we're just trying to get through the spring. We got so much going on. But as we sit in here right now in this beautiful new hotel, $30 million project, this is really a game changer for Greenville. Having a hotel like this right in the heart of our center city is a game changer, because there's 101 rooms here. And that's going to be a lot of people that are here from out of town that are going to be walking downtown looking for places to eat, to shop, and hopefully spend money at merchants. So once this happens, I think we'll see the ripple effect this will have in a positive way for downtown Greenville. And will there be a need for a second hotel down the road? I think if this goes as well as I envision, I think there will be a need for a second hotel in Greenville. So I could see that on the horizon. I see the city continuing to grow. But sometimes I wonder where all these people are coming from. But the city is really growing with residents. So there's going to be a continued need to continue to develop downtown and make it the best it can be.
And first, you mentioned the hotel, a beautiful facility here. We're at one of the highest points in the city. When you take a look over downtown Greenville, what comes to mind? What feelings do you have when you see a beautiful city like this?
It's different when you get up here and you look at it, because we've got a 360 view almost up here. It may not show as well on the camera, but it's when you're up here and walking around, it feels like a much bigger city than maybe we even give it credit for. And there's great views in Greenville. You know, the one thing, as I said, I love about Greenville is it has some big city amenities, but still that small town feel. We're kind of in that in-between spot, which for me, I love. And if you want a big city, you're only 60 minutes from Raleigh. If you want to relax, you're 90 minutes from the beach. You know, so I feel we're positioned great for continued growth. But I think they're incredible views up here, and I can't wait to bring friends or business associates up here to either have a meal or a drink and just kind of a new place to kind of do business, perhaps.
You kind of mentioned like the sweet spot in between Raleigh and the coast. How do you manage the growth that Greenville is bringing in? And what are you doing when you're talking to maybe potential business owners or people that are looking to move here? What are you telling them about this city?
So, you know, my role is where can we assist? You know, we've got some great people with the city that work on development. We've got some great people in the ENC Alliance that do that full time. We're partnered with them just as we're partnered with the city. So I view us as I'll meet different folks coming in. Just last week, I met someone that wants to put a new business on Evans Street. I don't even want to say what it is because the deal's not signed yet, but it would be a great addition to downtown. It would be something unique that's not being done right now, which I hope it happens. But we just try and play a role. Hey, how can we assist? If someone has questions that we can answer, or if we can connect them with the right person to answer those questions. That's kind of how I see our role in that. We're not specifically, you know, in charge of business development, but we can play a role in that, and we can assist where needed.
You mentioned PirateFest. It's coming up quick. Is there anything new or different this year that you can let us know compared to previous years?
Yeah, you know, we are making some adjustments. I was at PirateFest. I think this is our 22nd year we've done it, and I was at the first one as an attendee. And it's a great tradition. It is a fantastic community event. Some of the things will continue to remain that folks expect. You know, when you have an event called Pirate Fest, you expect to see some pirates. Oh, yeah. So that's not going to change. We'll have what we call the encampment. And what I've learned on this side of it is, boy, there's a lot of different pirate organizations out there. So we have contracted with just about all of them, and they will be, we've got guys that specialize in sword fights, and you could even like do a sword fight with them if you want. We've got Pirate Steve, a lot of people know from ECU, runs the team out. He's got a whole group he's involved with that'll be a part of it. We've got other guys that do shows that are pirate related. So we'll have plenty of pirate related festivities, especially for the kids. They love that stuff. And I think quite honestly, adults. But we will have a complete kid zone too with our partners at New Look. We'll have just about every inflatable you can imagine, a lot of fun games, different things for the kids that they can be a part of. We're going to bring in a mechanical bull this year for the adults so they can ride a mechanical bull. We'll probably put that on First Street most likely. I think that'll be something new that'll be a part of it. Maybe we'll put an eye patch on the bull, make him a little piratey. And then we're changing up the entertainment. I really viewed Pirate Fest as a family festival that's really during the day, and it's free. We've never sold tickets. Obviously, bring a little bit of money if you want something to eat or drink. That's how we fundraise or part of our organization. But there's no charge for the entertainment, for the music, or what we provide, or to attend the event. And before, we've always done it late, not late at night, but in the evening. And it seems like the event's winding down. This year, we're going to shake it up a little bit, and we're going to start, instead of just having one band, we're going to have three. And we're going to have the opener at 1, we're going to have another one at 3, and then our headliner at 5. So it'll be going on all day at the amphitheater. And as I said, it's great because the kids zone is going to be right next to it. So if you bring the kids out, they can play in the kids zone. You can enjoy a pirate beverage. We're looking to do some things, some live entertainment on the street too, and some music in between the bands. So we're going to try and shake it up this year entertainment wise and make it a lot more accessible for people where they don't have to wait till the end of the day, where it'll be going on all day long. And then of course, all our great vendors. between food trucks and the artisans that'll be there, and some local retailers, we're going to have a great event that I think if you've never been to before, you'll really enjoy. And if you have, I think you'll like some of the changes.
Yeah, I'm excited to be there and see it myself. And it always is a great event, and being able to connect with everyone in the community too.
Absolutely. And that's what it's for. We do it as a community event. We were voted the #1 event last year in the state of North Carolina.
And it shows you're doing something right there, getting rewarded for all the hard work that goes into setting up an event like that, because that takes a lot of time, energy, and effort, something that a lot of people don't even see.
It does. I mean, we've been planning on it takes months to put on, technically it's a 1-day event, but it takes months to prepare and plan. A lot of details when it comes to stuff like this, and a lot of moving pieces, but we couldn't do it alone. Obviously, as I said, we're great partners with the city of Greenville. So in conjunction with them and their staff, we really bring together, I think, something that's a crowning achievement as far as festivals for this area.
And for those weekends where there isn't a festival or something, like a concert or something going on, what can people find when they come down to downtown Greenville on a Friday night, a Saturday night? What other options are there for when there's not a big event?
Yeah, I mean, it's a walkable community, and you've got so many businesses. We're here on this side of it on Evans Street off of 5th, and then of course you've got Dickinson Avenue, which is just a couple blocks away from us, which is walkable and has been revitalized too, and that's an amazing corridor as part of downtown. And I think what you will find down here is just some incredible restaurants, great places to eat, first of all, great places to shop, and a walkable community where you can park once or take an Uber down and everything's within walking distance. I hate to start naming places because then they're going to be like, how come you didn't name me? But it is a lot of fantastic, and some of them are very high end, and then you have some very laid back. It runs the gamut from, I'll go ahead and give you a couple. I went to Homage the other night, and, I felt like you could have been in Charlotte eating in there. It just had a totally different vibe to it. But then I can go have a great meal at Sup Dogs and spend $10, and it's a fun environment and great food and great atmosphere. So we've kind of got something for everybody as far as whether you want to, depending on how much you want to spend or what type of atmosphere you're looking for. And then, of course, look, Greenville's known for nightlife, and there's plenty of options. We do have the State Theater downtown, and that really, they've been getting some great entertainment there. And that's also not just for college students. I know a lot of folks that are adults that really enjoy the bands. The Wood Brothers were just there. They had a great showing. And they're getting some really eclectic music groups in there. So if you're a little bit older, the State Theater might be a great option for you. And then, of course, there are plenty of options on the other side if you're a little bit younger or still in college.
And, even coming downtown, if you've been downtown recently, you've seen the orange cones,
yeah,
the signs, eat, shop downtown. How is it working with all the construction and obviously looking towards the future? What has that been like when you have things kind of hindering the ease of getting into downtown?
Yeah, another great question. You're good at this, Tyler. I've told people before, the construction in downtown Greenville, the best analogy I have is like we're a farmer and the construction is the weather. We have no control over it, but it affects us, right? If you're a farmer, the weather's going to have an effect on your crop, but you can't do anything about it other than try and react the best you can and plan the best you can. You can't change the weather is my point. So this project is going to get completed. I mean, it's going to look amazing when they're done. It's a $50 million project just on Fish Street through the grant build. That's not counting what's going on Dickinson Avenue, which is a state project, which the city and us have nothing. That's a totally separate project, but obviously has a great effect in the downtown area. When all of this is completed, it's going to look amazing down here. The problem is we're in the middle of that process, and we've got to get through these tough times because downtown is still open. Everything is, you can still park and everything is open. Sometimes you have to navigate a little bit different depending on what intersection is closed. So I understand the challenges. I will just say this, it's temporary. It's not going to last like this forever. Washington, our friends next door, had a similar project a few years ago on Main Street. I know it caused a lot of headaches for them, but they do have a beautiful Main Street now because of it. So it's it's kind of like labor pains. You have them, but then when everyone sees the beautiful baby, you forget about that. So I'm looking forward to the beautiful baby being born, which is the brand new downtown and the streetscape and the new landscaping that's going in, the widened sidewalks and the enhanced features between lighting and signage and everything else that's a part of this project. It will be worth it. We've just got to get over these times these challenging times right now. I do feel by fall, it'll look a lot better down here, and you'll start to see the improvements quickly as we head into summer. This is the toughest part because this is our downtown corridor. It really goes on all the way to Memorial. That's more through residential. That is, for those folks, it's a problem too because they're redoing that and circles and stuff. I think by the time we're talking this time next year, I think everything's going to be close to be completed, if not already done.
Okay, I know a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Yes.
Obviously, Greenville is known for its nightlife, especially with college students. Are you trying to shape a different message? What do you want the message to be, and what do you want Greenville to be known for?
Yeah.
Obviously, is what a lot of people who don't live in Greenville, work in Greenville, they understand, okay, that's where, college kids go, and you have the university, and
yeah.
What do you want the message to be moving forward?
I think we have something for everybody here. I mean, I went to school here. I loved it. I mean, it's one of the reasons I stayed. I think there's a lot of awesome things to do for students. I think there's becoming more and more cool things to do for young professionals. And I think there's great things to do if you're raising a family here. So I really view Greenville as a place that it depends what you want, but there's something for everybody. If you seek it out, there's those opportunities and places are available for you depending on what phase in life you're in. But I've lived it. I've lived it here as a college student. I've lived it as a young working professional. Now I'm getting a little bit older, but as raising a family here. So I've done all of those phases anyway, and every one of those phases there's been opportunities for myself or my kids or my friends. So I would say there's something for everybody. We're not really one-dimensional anymore. Maybe known as a college town at one time, and there is a strong partnership. Obviously, the better ECU is, the better it is for Greenville. The better Greenville is, the better it is for ECU. That town and gown relationship is as strong as ever. But I would say we're becoming a bigger town than just a small college town. I think the community is really growing, and things still do at times revolve around ECU, but we're starting to kind of grow into our own too and have other options outside of just the university. There are a lot of things in the works too, and that we have currently that, if you're not an ECU crazy fan, you could still enjoy Greenville, but it does give you a lot of good opportunities if you're plugged in with the university, whether it's theater and arts or sports, for a lot of entertainment venues through the university too.
Definitely. What is that partnership like with the university? I know the university, as far as you look at the lay of the land, they're in some ways landlocked, looking at kind of coming a little bit more into the downtown space. What does that look like as far as a partnership with them?
I would say the partnership between our organization, the city, and the university has never been stronger. We have quarterly town and gown meetings, which the leadership of all these organizations, we get together once a quarter and exchange ideas, meet, let everyone know what's going on. That hadn't been done in the past. So these are really productive meetings, and it's not just the city leadership. You have the county leadership there. You have our business leadership. I attend and also the chamber director. And then we have the ECU leadership. And those meetings are fantastic. Being new in this role, that was something I didn't even know was going on until I was in this position. But the communication on my board, I've got 2 East Carolina high officials that are engaged in what we're doing. We try and help the university when they have admitted students day. We might have 8,000 to 10,000 people in town. Well, the spillover from that for downtown is huge because they want to explore and see what's going on. So we're working with the university to alert our membership, hey, be ready. This is going to be a big day here. Be staffed up, be ready to go. You're going to serve a lot of people or have your shop ready to go with apparel or whatever the case may be. So that synergy between us, the city and the university, to me is the strongest it's ever been. So we're trying to help each other whenever we can. And that makes me feel good about being in this role because I think both of us need each other. We need the university, as I said, to do well, and the university needs us, especially downtown, to do well because we're in a unique situation here. Most universities aren't located across the street from downtown, so we've got a unique layout where downtown is literally almost a part of the university. I mean, I can look over here and I'm looking at all their buildings. So we want a strong downtown because that helps everybody.
And you are a product of ECU, stayed, put your roots here in Greenville. What are some of the ways you're working with these other organizations to hold on to some of the ECU alums and keep them in Pirate Nation?
Well, I just think the more opportunities that we can provide, the more things there are to do in town, the more businesses that continue to come to Greenville and expand, or existing businesses that expand. I think that's, people want to be where there's opportunity and where they can have fun. And I think Greenville's a fun place. I mean, I really do. I think there's a lot of fun things you can do here. I think there's a lot more opportunities professionally than there were, as I said, when I graduated. I had to really kind of work hard to try and find those opportunities. Now there's a lot of job opportunities for students if they choose to stay. And look, everybody's different. Some people want, if you want to be in Charlotte or Atlanta or New York City, that's fine. That is where if that's where your heart takes you, that's where you need to go. I think though, if you don't want that, and if you want to be able to stay, if we can have those opportunities, then they'll continue to hopefully raise their family in Greenville and have great experiences, and the community will continue to grow.
Definitely, and even with the boomerang, you go to a bigger city and then you come right back.
I've seen that happen quite a bit, actually. You might leave for a few years and go, you know what, this isn't for me. Let me get back to Greenville. So, then you can always come home again. Yeah. So even if someone does want to leave and test the waters and go to a bigger community, that's awesome too. But there'll always hopefully be an opportunity to come back home too, if this is what they consider their home, or want to make it their home like I did.
Exactly. A little challenge for you now.
Oh boy.
All right. You've been here in Greenville for 30 years. What would you say would be 3 words to describe this city?
First of all, it's been longer than 30 years, but let's just say 30. That's good. 3 words to describe Greenville or ECU? Greenville?
You can do both.
Let's do Greenville, I guess. I would say growing, fun, and positive.
Good. And if you had a magic wand and could make anything happen, what would be the one change you would make in Greenville today?
I would love to, one, I'd have all this construction done overnight and everything completed, so all of that's done. But other than that, I would love to see something, we're getting ready to have a new bulkhead put on the town common, which is what separates the water from the land, and that's deteriorated over the years. That has to be redone. So that's going to be a major project. That's hopefully going to be starting soon. I would love to see a beautiful, if I could wave a magic wand, do a really cool amphitheater down there, where that would be something that you could have some major events potentially. And I know we're not Wilmington and we're not Raleigh, but we could have a really cool venue down there if we have the funding for it. I would love to see something that down there along the water, even if we have to change how it's shaped. But I think that's such a cool environment down there along the river, in an outdoor amphitheater. That would be, I would love to see that happen. And I would love to see a couple parking decks downtown too. I'd love to put a new one on this side close to 5th Street, and then another one on Dickinson. If I had a magic wand, I would do that. Downtown is somewhere where you have a lot of people in a smaller area. So we're trying to work with the city. They're putting in a new parking plan that we think will help alleviate and turn over some spots with 2-hour free parking. But after that, you kind of need to move where folks just can't leave their car there for a week, So that has caused some of our merchants issues where in the past there was too much parking taken up by others that weren't moving, that weren't down here to shop or eat. So parking is a challenge. Hopefully this new parking plan by the city will help. And I know there's some big picture talks about what could be done in the future too, as far as a parking deck. But once again, that comes down to money. If it could be funded, I know there's interest to do it.
We'll definitely stay on top of that, because that, everyone's interested in parking and where they can find the best spot, for sure.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot, but What is a day in the life of Troy Dreyfus?
Every day's different. That's what I really love about this job too. It's flexible. So I've got some great people I work with, and I've got a great marketing director that's with me. And for me, if I'm behind a desk all day or behind a computer, I'm not being successful. I need to be out and about. I need to be meeting face to face with folks. I need to be doing stuff like this. I need to be out in the downtown community. So every day is different. Today we had our board meeting this morning. We led a private tour of the hotel. We're doing a media interview with you. I do have, some emails and paperwork to take care of after this, but every day is kind of different. Tomorrow it'll be focused. What do we need to do to move PirateFest along to make sure we're not leaving anything unturned? What are we missing that we haven't maybe already done up to date? So it just depends on the day, depends on the week. There isn't any cut and paste and repeat. Then that's really, to me, that's what I like about it. So, but I'm always my goal is, what can I do to make our organization better today? What can I do to move us forward? What can I do to help Greenville today? That's kind of my goal every day. If I've done something every day to help our organization and to help Greenville, then I've been successful. And you keep stacking that every single day. And after a month, you've gotten some good things done. And hopefully after a year, you've gotten a lot done. So that's my mentality where I come from. What can I do to make things better today? How can I help other people be successful too? Because in our role, really, we're trying to help others be successful. If the restaurants and shops and retail down here is successful, that makes our job easier. Then that's what we're trying to do, is help them be successful.
And we'll be right here to continue to capture the growth as Greenville continues to grow. Troy Dreyfus, Executive Director of the Downtown Greenville Partnership. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Tyler, great being with you, man. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. Excellent questions, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.